What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Lascel, the M.B.A. back at you today with a fresh, hot, new video for your consumption. Today's topic is the 10 things every man should stop doing by the time he's 30 years old. But before we get into the content, if you can take a second, stop, breathe. I want you to go to that like button, like and subscribe this video so that you don't miss out on any content that comes out. As soon as it comes out, you get a notification. You can check us out, and hopefully something that we say or that I say will resonate with you, that will help make your life a little bit better. So let's jump right into the top 10 things. These are the 10 things every man should stop doing by the time he's 30. All right? Now, there's no specific order, but these are the 10 that just jumped out at me. Some of these things will bleed into other things, but we'll cover that as time goes on. Let's start off with number 1. Every man should stop thinking short range. And that goes in the professional and physical and emotional realm, right? So every man goes into certain things as a kid, and he thinks about today, tomorrow. He might have a year as far as like how he does as far as his planning. But by the time you're 30 and you've been around a few things, you've had a few failures, you've done some things financially, sometimes you might have went out on your own, not succeeded, had to come back home, do whatever you had to do. By this point, you should have enough of life under your belt where you should be a person who now, when you go and set a thing in motion, whether it be going to get a job, it's not just about money now. It's not just about seasonal work. It's not just about doing certain things that's going to put money in your pocket now, because that takes you away from the long-term search. It's about careers. It's also about the physical, keeping yourself in shape. You don't just do certain things because there's ramifications behind it. You start thinking long-term about how to upkeep your body, things of that nature, emotional health, long-term emotional health. You start getting away from people who are toxic because they're funny in the moment, or they spend time with you in the moment and you can do something with them. So the first thing you should stop doing is thinking short range and start thinking long range. The number 2 thing is stop being impetuous. Now, on the heels of the emotional long range thought, being impetuous is something a lot of young people do. They start saying things like, oh, this dude got me mad tight, or this person really got me angry and I just blacked out. You can't be impetuous. As a grown man, over 30, you're going to be held accountable for what you say. Just like in 300, where he said, just know that in Sparta, every man is held accountable for the words that come out of his mouth. At this point, your actions and your words are that of a grown man, and they're not going to think of it as a boy. You may be a young man in 30, but you should have gotten a lot of things out where you just start acting and saying things without thinking about the ramification. A lot of people, you can get fired from a job when you're 25. That should have been your wake-up call. You don't want to get fired in a career at the age of 30 when you got bills and you got other things out there that will be affected with the ramifications of that long term. Number 3, and I know the ladies are going to love this, right? By the time you're 30, every man should stop chasing every woman you see. Now, I know dudes is looking at me like, you crazy, yo son, you just violated. Nah, it's not about that. By the time you're 30, you understand that there's a lot of women that we chase when we're younger because she may have a sexy look, may have a sexy body, you know, something about her. Maybe she's just there. You know, like, I want to get that chick. Stop chasing her. If you don't want them, leave them alone. At this point, you start thinking long term. Why would I deal with this chick? That's the mindset of a kid who messes with women at his job, messes with women in his professional life, whether it be events that he's trying to do, and that hinders him long term for a piece of ass. You know, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Maybe she starts saying stuff like, oh, he's a perv, I don't want to deal with him, I don't want him here. And that's how you wind up in HR, especially in the age of the Me Too movement. Stop chasing every chick you see. Start being a little bit more discerning. There's certain things that women and people in general expect from a grown man, and that's part of one of the things you do. Have a little discernment, have a little discretion, have a little restraint. Number 4, I love this one. Stop buying expensive items to impress people you don't like. A lot of people out there go out there and they buy and force themselves into debt buying things they don't like, trying to impress people trying to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. You know you couldn't afford that Benz and to pay your rent. And that's why you see a lot of people, a lot of young boys, that they living on their mama's couch or sleeping at their brother's crib or living with their baby mom, but they got a big body Benz outside. Half the time they can't even put gas in it. May not be insured. At some point, be a grown man about yours. It's not about what you have. It's about who you are as a man. I'd rather have an 800 credit score than have a Benz outside and it's in somebody else's names. So just keep that in mind. Stop buying expensive items to impress other people. Number 5, be functional. Every man by the time he's 30 years old should be functional. What does that mean? You should have your own car. You should have your own space. Now, granted, in certain cities like in New York, some people can't afford an apartment. Median rent, it's like $1,500, $1,800. Everybody doesn't have those jobs. And that leads to people doing some things that they may not need to be doing. But this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with having whatever car you can afford as a mode of transportation to get to more money and to have your own space. I don't care if you have to rent, share. This will be an episode of Friends before I be homeless or sleeping on somebody's couch. Have your own space. Have your own car. You should be functional as a man. You ever see that dude that you figured, okay, yo, he's a bum. He's like 35. He's still living at home with his mama. He ain't doing this. He ain't getting his stuff together. That's because he's not a functional man. And that leads to people questioning your manhood or your thought process. So by 30, you should be functional. Number 6, piggybacking on that, have all necessary licenses. There's nothing crazier to me than to see somebody over 30 driving around in a car and they ain't got no license. Come on, really, dude? Really? Come on. I mean, you just assume a lot of times you get in these cars with people, oh, the car's legit. He ain't got no license. Come on. Have all necessary licenses. Have all necessary insurance. Have grown man stuff. You ain't got to be sitting here, yo, don't look, don't turn around. They're going to mess with us. Nah. You're putting people in danger. And you're putting people in an embarrassing situation when you don't do your job as a grown man. And half these dudes who don't have it, it ain't like they so busy that they couldn't go down to DMV, take a road test, take this. Obviously, you got a car. Stop putting the cart before the horse and do your due diligence as a grown man. Right? Number 7. Stop using street names. By the time you're 30, man, you ain't punking no more, man. I mean, if you amongst, people who grew up with you, oh, that's punking, or that's this, that, third, that's fine. But when you start introducing yourself in professional circles, you at the job, you 30 years old, you too old to be a punkin or a peanut or, or C Black. Come on, dude. Just say your name is Charles. Just say your name is Glenn. Just say your name is Ty, man. Just stop using street names if you over 30 years old. If you got kids, man, you come on, man. You look ridiculous right now. Being honest with you. Number 8. And this one is number 7 or number 7, number 8. Number 8. Own some suits. Every grown man should stop buying Jordans and start owning some suits. If you are a grown man over 30 and you don't have a suit to take to an interview, to take to an event, to pick up your kids, to go and deal with family members and look presentable, somebody needs to slap you. Real talk. Own a suit. Stop buying so many Jordans. It kills me when you have a $600 pair of shoes, but if something happens, you don't have a $250 suit that you can put on to go someplace and look like the grown man that you're supposed to be. Because every man will sit out there talking, I'm a grown man. Be a grown man. Get yourself some grown clothes. Right? Number 9. Learn to tie a tie. Buy a belt. You should stop putting that as an excuse. Oh, yo, I don't deal with that. I'm just out here. I'm just doing my thing. Every grown man, by the time he's 30, should know how to tie his own tie. There's nothing that bothers me more than when I'm someplace and there's a grown man with a clip-on tie. you need to get smacked. It takes me back to a few years ago. There was a situation in Walmart where a 16-year-old boy was going for a job interview. And instead of coming to people in his own community that look like him, he had to go to Walmart employees who helped him tie his tie and gave him advice because nobody that he knew could help him tie a tie. It made all of us look very bad. At some point, we got to really start doing that. It's not hard. YouTube, just like you watching me, there's YouTube videos on how to do it. Just learn how to tie a tie. Look like a grown man at some point. Everybody wants to be a boss. How much of a boss can you possibly be? You can't tie a tie. And secondly, you don't own a belt, so you don't pull your pants up. You look ridiculous if you're over 30 years old doing that. And finally, my favorite one, number 10, it goes into the functionality of people. If you're over 30 years old, you should have some tools. If you're a grown man and something breaks in your house and you can't put a nail through a board, that's like a chick who can't cook. At some point, you got to stop leaning on these crutches and saying, well, my dad didn't teach me. We're in the information age. You could Google a chick where her address is or how to scam something. You can Google how to put a nail through a board, dude. It kills me when you got grown men who got, they can't put drapes up, but they'll take some duct tape and put some sheets over the friggin' windows. Like, are you serious? There used to be a time when I was a kid, they used to have a saying, people can say, when they come into a house, they know a woman's not there. If you're a man and you have a crib, and they can tell when a woman doesn't live there. And then when a woman, the same thing with a woman. If she's sitting there and certain things is in boxes and it's all just packed up, it makes it look like she has no man. And it's crazy when she's like, oh no, my man, he's coming home from school, or he's coming home from his little job, whatever case may be, and you looking around like all this stuff is messed up and you got a man here? Be functional. Get some tools. Now, my whole point of saying this to you, right, is that once you hit that age of 30, there's going to be certain things not only will people expect to see from you as a grown man, there's going to be things you should be expecting from yourself. If all you want to do is get high and you want to just run the street and chase chicks, then in all actuality, you're a male. You have a penis. You're not a man. Because men take care of responsibilities. Men are at least functional. Men can do certain things. There's certain things in the job description as a man that we should all be able to do. And it's embarrassing when you see like women outside pumping gas while a man is sitting in the car, texting on his phone. Chick is changing the tire because this dude don't know nothing about that. She can't take him nowhere because he ain't got nothing beside t-shirts and Jordans. He's impetuous, so he could say anything, so she can't bring him around her coworkers. And he can't hold down a job, so he really can't pay no bills. And he ain't got nothing else, so that's why dudes be fighting to stay in some of these chick cribs, because they ain't got no place to go. Be a functional man. By the time you're 30 years old, you should knock out. If not everyone, you should be close to closing out that list. Well, that said, I'm hoping that something I said can resonate with you. And if you are a brother or a man that's out there that has found himself lacking at some points in this list, make it your point. This is the beautiful thing about this. This is a wake-up call. You can change it. You have the power to do that. It's not me coming down on you. It's just showing that sometimes maybe with some of the resistance you get from the universe is the fact that you're not ready for certain things. Use this as an opportunity to go out and make those changes. All this stuff can be done pretty much in a month or two. So take this opportunity to do that. And with that, I'm also going to tell everybody out there, take the opportunity to share this with somebody who may need this message, or somebody who may need to hear it from a man's point of view, because there's a lot of women out there that they can't relate to their sons, their boyfriends, even their husbands. If this is an opportunity for you to share this and let them hear that from a man's perspective, because at the end of the day, man, I'm not trying to down nobody, but at the end of the day, dude, if you slacking in your Mac and get your game up, because everybody out here is a man. Also, this is an opportunity for you, again, to don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, and again, share it to anybody else who you may feel this may resonate with. I'm hoping that this will change some things that may not be effective for you, or something that you may not be satisfied with. And if I've done that, I've done my job. So until 24 hours comes again and we have a new video, this is Lascel, the M.B.A., thanking you again for taking the opportunity, or giving me the opportunity to speak my piece to you people, to you good people out there. And I hope that this resonates with you. Until I see you again, peace. Nothing but the best wishes for everybody. I'll talk to you in 24.